There were plenty of his defeats he could have turned into wins.
Yeah, William Warburton. There was one particular point in his career where he started to win, and we started thinking he could get an English title shot. Oh God, maybe a British. We dreamed of a British, and it just all went a little bit wrong again at the end. And but William Warburton, I think anyone around the British boxing circuit will tell you he's probably the most capable away corner fighters we've seen.
So this is Luke Middleton from Langgold in Notts, 33 years old. Last in action a couple of weeks ago in Solihull.
Actually, Andy, one of my favourite ever away fighters was Mark McRae. He was the journeyman who could take you out with a single shot.
And his opponent, boxing his home city of Doncaster, Lewis
Tyson Fury in the background there, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Isaac Lowe as well. Roman Fury is making his debut later on tonight. The 9th Fury, I think, to turn pro. Booth is 13-0, won an area title at welterweight in February 2020. Then, like a lot of people, on himself sidelined for a couple of years.
Black and grey shorts, he weighed in at 11 stone exactly. Boxing is evening his 24th professional contest from Worksop, Luke Middleton. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing grey shorts trimmed with blue and silver, he tipped the scales at 10 stone, 8 pounds 6 ounces. He brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 13 wins from 13 contests. From right here in Doncaster, Lewis Too Smooth Booth. Your timekeeper is Peter Humphrey of Doncaster. Your referee is Rhys Carter from Cardiff. Referee Rhys Carter will run you both boxers their final instructions.
Okay, gents, you professionals, you know the rules. Keep it clean, listen to my instructions, and defend yourself at all times. Good luck, shake hands.
This is a welterweight bout scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds.
So 4 at welterweight here between Lewis Booth and Luke Middleton. Rhys Carter, our referee, and Booth, a really good example of somebody for whom the pandemic came at exactly the wrong time, because he won an area title. He was 12-0. He was really looking to kick on, and then he didn't box for a couple of years. Back in action March this year at the Doncaster Dome. Luke Middleton, boxing out of that away corner, will be looking to get through the rounds. And actually, not a bad example of what I was talking about before. He started in the home corner, won his first fight, lost his second when he wasn't supposed to, and then headed for the away corner and won his first job on the road since then. It's been defeats and a couple of draws, but he stuck to the task. He's still with us, answering the call. Booth has started quick here.
Yeah, he started really quick, looks really switched on, very sharp. Low hands, but shots are coming out from both hands. Nice and accurate. I think for break for the pandemic, I think Lewis Booth worked on his strength and conditioning and his physique. I was looking through his Instagram earlier on today, and he can put a comparison picture of the night he won the area title compared to now, and it's night and day, really. You can see he's tremendously conditioning, isn't he?
He is. He's in spectacular shape. And that was the challenge, I think, wasn't it, for all of these fighters who faced a lengthy spell on the sidelines, is try and use that time as constructively as possible.
gets away from that centre line every time he lets his hands go, doesn't he, Lewis Booth? His feet are never still.
Little feint with the front foot, steps in and tries to go to the body. Middleton just sparring with that lead left. Little mark on the bridge of his nose there.
Extremely quick fire reflexes, hasn't he, Lewis Booth? Not the type of fight you want to make a mistake of throwing a lazy jab out or not bringing it back quick enough or just dropping your hands for a second. He's nice and quick, nice and sharp tonight. He'll make you pay for that. I think that's going to be a task for Luke Middleton. No silly mistakes.
Just short with the jab there, Booth. Backing up to the blue corner there, Middleton. Dips at the waist. Stays out of the way there without too much trouble. And he's done that for the most part in this opening round fairly effectively. He's thrown plenty, Booth, and has landed a decent amount, but he didn't get caught with anything too clean there, Middleton. He's got that kind of loose, rubbery look to him, which means he rides the punches quite well.
I think it's going to be an exercise in concentration, this, isn't it, for Luke Middleton? His brain's going to have to be working overtime. The punches are coming at different angles. Booth's never in front of him. He's shooting him from out of range. Middleton's just going to have to be on his awares the entire fight. No silly mistakes, no big gaps if he's going to get through this.
You mentioned Mark McRae a little bit earlier, and I loved him as well, because I remember one of the first shows I commentated on for Sky. He was doing an undercard and he dropped his opponent almost immediately, and then it was like he thought to himself, "I better not do that again." And they managed to
Seconds out, round 2.
give the decision to the home corner fighter. But yeah, he has some serious power.
He fought Liam Taylor fighting in a British title eliminator tonight. Mark McRae fought Liam, who's a very, very good fighter, at the Manchester Evening News Arena, and put him down at the final second of their fight heavily. And Liam just about got to his feet and got the verdict in the end. But I think a journeyman who can knock you out with one shot might be the rarest breed of all fighters. And Mark McRae could certainly do that. Did mean that he spent a lot of time waiting and dropped a lot of 40-36s. But when he decided to let his hands go, he was extremely dangerous.
Just shooting that jab up from the waist again there, Booth. Nice balance to him. Goes up to the head with a jab, then down to the body.
Promising thing for Booth is, he was brought up on the feed of journeymen, guys you're expected to beat. Some guys who don't even come to win, but when he was match tough for his area title, he really stepped up and performed, and that's a good sign, isn't it? It wasn't a scraping, just scraping a win or just getting over the line to get that title. He really did win it. He beat a good fighter to win that area title. And someone who can step up that level when required is a good sign for his future career. Could be quite a difficult puzzle for some people to solve as well, couldn't he, with his style he's got? A real jack in the box.
Reverse 1-2 there almost. Led off with the right hand, then came through with a straight left, which did catch Middleton. He's not been caught by much. He's good at staying out of trouble, Middleton. He's calm in the face of these attacks from Booth. He knows he's going to come in from distance. That left hand gets through again there. Same thing, led off with the right, and then a straightish left, and he's got to look for that kind of variety, because what's tended to happen so far is he'll move in from the outside and just shut his own space down a bit too much when he's up tight, when he's up close. Feints that jab almost and then goes down to the body. He's jabbed that glove hard a couple of times. I'm just wondering whether he's going to put a right hand on the back of that at some point.
Yeah, Luke Middleton's your classic up and down boxer, isn't he? He's nice guard, moving the right way, and he's defending the orthodox attacks pretty well. When Lewis Booth mixes it up, when he comes with that reverse 1-2, when he switches his feet, that's when Luke's just having a little bit more trouble dealing with it.
So midway through this one, saw some interesting little things in that round from Booth, who recognises the task at hand here. He's going to need to use some imagination to find the openings.
Just trying to lip read in the corner there. I think Jimmy Harrington there is just telling him to work off that jab, whether that's coming in behind it or whether it's at times just hold his feet and put a right hand behind it, like you said, Andy. So I think we might expect to see that jab working over time, and just seeing little different things come off it in this third round. Being associated with Jimmy Harrington at that Freedom Boxing Gym in Doncaster, it does come with a Tyson Fury link now, doesn't it? You know, seem to mix between the camps over there in Morecambe. Fighters like Isaac Loaf, obviously Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker. So the people you're around on a day-to-day basis, and the opportunity you've got to share the ring with people like Lowe and see how someone like Fury goes about his business. You know, Lewis Booth's going to be coming on leaps and bounds just from being around it, isn't he?
Absolutely, you just couldn't not, could you? And you've got someone like Fury in the dressing room with you tonight, and then just walking out behind you. I do think it's really good, the amount of fight nights that he goes to, Tyson. He knows a lot of people. He's got a lot of fellow professionals who are family members or close friends in the sport, but he turns up for them pretty much every time.
Yeah, I think the one thing you can say about Tyson is he respects and loves fighters, doesn't he? He loves the sport, and he's got a lot of time for anyone who gets in the ring, and you'll see him sometimes there at 6 o'clock in the evening, won't you, if he knows somebody who's fighting. Luke Middleton in full-on survival mode at the moment, isn't he? He's not got many thoughts himself about launching much offence at Lewis Booth.
No, and he hasn't had pretty much from the start. What he's good at, Middleton, is just giving that ground, pulling those feet back, keeping himself nice and organised, dipping at the waist like he does there. He's made it hard for Booth to hit him clean. Nice right hand into the stomach there from Booth.
We've not seen the right hand followed by the jab, have we, so much in this round? I just wonder if he's just biding his time, not overusing it, not letting Middleton become accustomed to the speed and the timing of it. I just wonder if he's just waiting to use it, just waiting to spring it into action. It's been a nice weapon, wasn't it, through the first 2 rounds?
It was. Again, just feints with a jab there, then looks to go down to the body with the right. Good jab, just flicks that up from the waist. He's landed that nice and heavy a couple of times now in the last 30 seconds or so. Final few seconds of round 3. Situations like this, you've just got to use this to your best advantage if you're Lewis Booth. It's more rounds under the belt. You don't want to get disorganised or ragged at any point, go searching for the stoppage and start to look a little bit laboured. Just keep your boxing together, stick to the plan, because you're almost certainly going to go 4 rounds here. He'll know that now anyway, as he gets off his stool to come back out for the 4th and final round, because Middleton has barely thrown a thing, to be honest, has he?
No, given very little to think about, hasn't he? But also very little to work with. You know, he's had to make the run in from the opening bell booth, hasn't he? He's had to try and prize Middleton open and look for well, he's had to work for every opportunity. I can't see that changing in the fourth.
So fourth and final round, Lewis Booth in the white and blue. Former area champion will be looking to get back to challenging for titles as soon as he can, I'm sure. Looking for an overhand right there, then just stepped off to the right-hand side. Just walking in a little bit square as he lets his hands go. He's done that 2 or 3 times now. It's understandable because there's not really anything coming back from Middleton. There's that kind of right-hand lead.
Yeah, this is Booth's second fight back after the coronavirus layoff and everything, but he was an area champion. And when we see fighters like Samuel O'Antwi getting a shot at Esso Eckerman a couple of weeks ago on the Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker bill for the British title, you know, he can't be allowing himself to drift too far away from that, can he? At that, when he was the area champion, him and Antwi would have been about the same level, won't they? So, you know, we need to see him move on quickly. You know, he can't stew at this level for much longer, can he? You know, if Lewis Booth's serious about doing what he can, I think we need to see him move on pretty quickly. Maybe get an 8-rounder in, and then early next year be looking at some kind of eliminator.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Good strong right hand there. Just found good distance, came in behind the jab, threw the right hand straight down the middle, and it got through the guard. Midway through round 4. Steps in with that right. You saw that coming, Middleton, had the glove up.
Yeah, just telegraphed it a little bit, but there's been a lot of left-hand work, hasn't there? You know, he's been finishing combinations with a jab, and there's been a lot of double jabs and a lot of lead left hooks, but it was nice to see him try and work the right hand as well.
Corner just shouting at him not to give ground there, and that's one thing I was just thinking myself, is that he'll back Middleton up to a corner. Middleton's not unhappy to kind of give that ground into the corner. He's had a difficult time keeping him there once he's got him there. Middleton's generally been able to find a route out, because he'll spring in from the outside, let his hands go, and then look to just re-establish that distance rather than stay on him. He's got big, strong legs. Plant those legs either side of him and see if he could get to work a bit when he's got him in that corner. That was nice. Right hand to the body and then a left hand up top.
Yeah, it's worked really well for him, that, hasn't it? It's come from different angles, finishing with a jab. Lewis Booth tonight. He's had it pretty much his own way, and he'll be happy just to get back another win, get that momentum building up again, and as we said, hopefully, maybe within the next 6 months we can see Lewis Booth in some kind of a eliminator, because he's definitely talented.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's got plenty going for him. As you said, he's already been an area champion, so he needs to get back to that level and get back there as quickly as he can. Middleton got through the 4 rounds without shipping too much punishment. And when you're in with somebody like Booth, who arrives at the ring in the shape that he's in and starts as positively and energetically as he does, any flickering hope or ambition you might harbour of picking up a prized win on the road, it evaporates pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Well, like we said in a couple of the early fights, it's that first round, isn't it? Establish your dominance pretty much straight away. Don't give the opponent any kind of foothold, and you tend to have it your own way. And that's exactly what Lewis Booth did there. That's just experience, isn't it? The guy's early on, still early in the career.
We go to referee Reese Carter's scorecard. He scores the contest at 40 points to 36 in favour of your winner from Doncaster, Lewis Booth.
He sells a few tickets for Lewis Booth as well, and that's always good news. That's always going to endear you to your promoter. 40 points to 36, 4 rounds to 0. As we were saying, he was out for a couple of years due to COVID, as were so many people. Came back in March, probably a bit disappointed it's taken until now to get back out again. I don't know what the reasons may have been for that, but as John's been saying, he'll be looking to kick on as quick as he can now, really.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.